The Reverend Dr. Inderjit Bogal is a retired minister of the Methodist Church of Great Britain, and actually in the year 2000 was the first person from an ethnic minority background to be elected as president of the British Methodist Conference. Inderjit was born into a Sikh family in Kenya, but when East African Asian families were forced out of the country in 1964, as an 11-year-old boy, he travelled with his family as a refugee to the English West Midlands. He actually joined a Methodist church there, and while continuing to acknowledge his Sikh background, he eventually became a Methodist minister with a strong commitment to interfaith relations. Roger and I both got to know Inderjit at Corrymeela in the late 1970s, and we've remained good friends since then. Amongst many achievements over the years, Inderjit was instrumental in establishing the City of Sanctuary movement, of which, of course, Belfast is a member, and later the Churches of Sanctuary. And his own personal experience was inevitably very formative in this, and this remains a major commitment. This week, Refugee Week, Inderjit wrote a short reflection in preparation for today, Sanctuary Sunday, and this is our reading. And the song by Roger that the choir will sing immediately after the reading was very much inspired by Inderjit's work and the City of Sanctuary movement. So Inderjit writes, "We're living in challenging times with alarming levels of hostility towards people with darker shades of colours of skin, and particularly towards those seeking sanctuary among us. People already traumatized by war and violence. There are elements in our societies who are stoking up fears and adding to hatred and hostility with misinformation and mythology. Some are promoting this with Christian symbols like the cross of Christ, a desecration. What is the proper response of followers of Jesus to this? What message do we speak into hatred and hostility? We challenge hostility with hospitality. In the context of rising fascism in the 1930s, Dietrich Bonhoeffer called on the church to be the church. We need this call now. It means to live out the gospel, to embody the ministry of Christ, to be the body of Christ, a community of sanctuary into which we welcome and enfold and safeguard people with all our differences and diversity, radically insisting that we are not all the same or required to be the same. This church, any church, is a house of prayer for people of all nations. The challenge for followers of Jesus is to stand up and declare and live out his gospel revealed in him, insisting that, 1, God is with us all, without discrimination, for all people are made in the image of God, imbued with the grace of God. All people, in spite of their selfishness, have the capacity to know and show love for all. 2, we emulate Christ-likeness and model Jesus' ministry of healing, hospitality, and sanctuary for all. For Christ's love transcends all borders. 3, we affirm that Christ lived and loved and died for all. This is what the cross of Christ declares. The cross of Christ strengthens people in their own experience of suffering and crucifixion. 4, we keep alive the hope of resurrection, refusing to give in to despair, proclaiming the fullness of life for all, building a better world for all. 5, we live this out as church, as one body, who share one bread, modelled in Holy Communion, where all are welcomed and included, and no one is an outsider, not only as a foretaste of the heavenly banquet, but a revelation of the world as God wills it to be. Everyone knows Jesus' story of the Good Samaritan, upholding the capacity of all people to show mercy and compassion, to be human, to live with hospitality, and to refuse to live by hatred. Love your neighbour without exception. This is a rallying and uniting call for all neighbours everywhere.